Welcome to Midlife Marauders with Will and Max.
I'm very excited, Max, because we have a special guest. And that's
Very
awesome.
special.
Well, I'm going to do this intro. I'm inspired by this intro by the Drink Champs. Shout out to Nori. So I'm going to bring my man in Nori style. So this is how we're going to do it. Midlife Marauders. We have a guest today. This is a man I've known my entire adult life. I probably met him when I was 18, 19 years old. Both Max and I met him at
A
the
while back.
hallowed grounds of University of Virginia. First time I saw this man, I said, this is a man I need to know. This is a man I need to be friends with. He just had
You're going to
that
tell us
look
about the
of,
meeting, huh?
he just had that look of somebody that you should be down with. And I was right on the money with it. This man, we have grown up together. This man is a personal hero of mine in ways that he might not even know. This man has instilled a lot of confidence in me as a dark-skinned African American. He gave me a lot of confidence in that regard when I didn't have a lot of confidence in that. This is in the late 80s, early 90s. I appreciate that. This is a man that we have rapped together. Him better than me, but it is what it is. We have lived together. We have gone out together. We were in the clubs in the 90s and the 2000s, wearing tight pants and tighter turtleneck sweaters. We were doing our thing. This man
Sweater.
got married. Turtleneck sweaters. Hey, go back and do your research. This man got married pretty early in the game. I salute him for that. Shout out to his beautiful wife, Carmen. This man, I have also got him to try to go the conventional route of employment. I got him a job somewhere down the line. Worked there. We worked together. It was fun. But this man took
Where'd you guys
an
work?
unconventional path. I don't even know. I can't even remember. I think it was MCI. Anyway, this man took an unconventional path in life, and I salute him for that. This man has become successful. He is a great father, great husband, great entrepreneur. Somebody we here at Midlife Marauders want to salute, want to give their flowers to. We are going to entertain you, and we are also going to have him share some of his wisdom on how he has successfully marauded. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the one, the only, Frank, a.k.a. Moyne McGee. Give it up!
We're so happy that you're here. I'm hoping you would jump on with us. So thank you so much for joining us. And thank you also for supplying the beats for our podcast. It is so much fun for us to have, use those.
I'm a huge fan. I told Will from the very first episode I got a time to listen to. I'm like, yo, y'all are good. I love this. I remember even before y'all started, he's like, yo, Moyne, you got some beats. I was flattered.
Oh, yeah.
I was so flattered. Yeah. I was like, bro, beats, man, say less. Will, too, I was kind of like nervous. I sent a whole bunch, as y'all know. But Will is a hard ear to please. And I remember right now, I'm like, need some beats, Will. They can't all be winners.
Hey, brother, we performed together,
we
man. My man, I know what that's like. Hey, there was only one person that we even considered going to for the music for this podcast, and that's you, my brother. So, salute to you. Yeah, man. So, listen, we want to tell the people about you. We want you to share some of your wisdom and insight, but we got to go back. We got to go back a little bit. So, I've known this man for many years, and we, as many of us did back in the day, we were in the rap game. We had a couple little groups together. Frank took it a lot longer than I did, for sure. He was a lot better than I was. With that being said, with you, and I got to let the people know, being the CEO of Moyne Music, you have evolved from rapper to producer to CEO of your own entertainment company. Tell us about that voyage a little bit.
Kind of nailed it. Rapper, producer, CEO. And I wish I could tell you like a cool way it happened. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I wish I had this great story to be like, yo, I made this decision. I did this happened. But that's not what happened. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it a buck. What happened was, you know, everybody want to be a rapper or a ball player at some point. You know what I'm talking about? So we were doing that, you know, then life circumstances kicks in. Like Will said, I got married early, kids early. So, you know, you kind of got to grow up real fast, make some real life decisions and stuff like that. Like, you don't let your dreams go, but we got to get milk. This baby need milk. This baby need
some food, clothes.
So, you know, I had left the music for a while. And then, you know, it's just always in me. I grew up around music. Like my pops, he played with the Stax volumes and all of that.
Oh, wow.
I've been playing drums in the church since I was 4 years old with him.
Oh, wow.
Always been around music. So it was just something that was burning in me. And just one day, this is wild. I said, hey, I think I want to make a song and I wanted to go on the radio. So this is how the producer thing started. So I'm like, I did what you do. I hooked up with local artists. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, I said, hey, you know what? I want to produce a song and I want to go on the radio. It was that simple. It was that slight. It wasn't like.
Wait, when was this? Is this like a couple years later? Was this a while ago or was this more recently?
It was years ago. This was like, sheesh. I would say it was in the teens, 2000 teens time.
Okay. So you're still doing like a regular job and then
so I
got back into music.
I had my own personal training business that was doing really, really well.
Okay.
Well, you know, and so I said, this is what I want to do. So I was looking for local artists, linked with some local artists. And since my guy, Mike Brown, I always saw him make beats. I kind of understood sound, the sound, patterns, how you had to match it, how you had to sync things. So I'm doing this. I'm working with some artists. I'm taking them to the studio. And an engineer who I respect a lot named Javon Graham. He was like, bro, you bring these artists in here, you organize all this stuff. You know you're running a label. I was like,
that's
bro,
cool.
I'm not running no label. I just, whatever. He's like, nah, man, you running a label, man. You guys will formalize it and run a label. And I just blew him off. And then another dear friend of both of ours named Darren, I'm just catching him up on what we're doing. And he was like, bro, you know you're a label. I'm like, I'm not a label, man. He's like, no, you're a label. A label does this, 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 and this.
It's funny, right? When somebody else has to tell you what you're doing, you know?
So I said, damn. Well, I guess I'm running a label, and that's really how it happened.
That's great. That's amazing.
I never planned to do this. I never wanted to do this. I never had any inkling of desire to run a label.
But you obviously knew that this was a passion of yours, right? And it just turned into something that was professional. Yeah.
Right. And then my wife had kind of dared me. She was like, you make good music. Why don't you do something with it? You just
That's good. Oh, she really did dare you.
You played it for me. Why don't you do something with it? I'm
yeah.
It was just a little hobby. I just want you to hear it.
Put your money where your mouth is.
That's how the label started. It started that like circumstance. It was just like, yeah, this happened to start a label. That happenstance, it was just.
But see, that's a good story because, sometimes you feel like this person, he started his business, he like was grinding like 24 hours a day and he knew exactly what he wanted. So it's kind of refreshing and inspiring to me because I'm kind of all over the place and I have lots of hobbies and passions. So it's kind of nice to hear that it wasn't this whole big plan. And I'm glad it happened, but it can still happen for anybody, right?
100%. I feel like, even though we're in our midlife, we're marauding, as you guys say. I love that.
Yeah.
It can, whatever you want to happen can happen. I think sometimes because we're older, we can get a little freaked out because things
we limit ourselves. Yeah. We're afraid to take risks, I think. Yeah.
Because, we're at this phase of our life. If we go wrong, then what? But at the same time, now you have more wherewithal, you have more wisdom, you have more resource. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you have more discipline. You know?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask you about, because I think I was reading your bio about how you have a lot of discipline. You have this really strong work ethic. I mean, is that what you think kind of separates you from other people who can't maybe stick to something for a long time?
So I'm going to tell you something I developed probably in 2021.
Okay.
2021 was a pivotal year for me, just personally, because I went through some things with the business. The business is real sketchy. I was working with some people who didn't have my best interests. You know, you learn a lot of tough lessons. So what I decided to do, I've always worked hard, but I needed to work harder. I needed to be more consistent. I started to create behaviors that would get me to where I think I want to go. Because I felt like if I created a behavior, I don't have to be motivated to do it. I don't have to be inspired to do it. I'm just going to do it. And certain behaviors beget certain results.
Yeah. So this was your own thing. It wasn't like something you read online or, followed some, guru out there.
I try to simplify life.
Okay.
Like, we wake up in the morning, what do? You brush your teeth and wash your face. You're not even thinking about it. It is just the behavior. It's just what you do. So that's exactly what I tried to create. And I try to create these, I try to set things up. So I'm just going to continue to do this.
Okay.
And I don't even think about it. So if I'm not in the
so do you like schedule it, or you just have your stuff around you so you can't ignore it?
All right. So I'm going to tell y'all something that this is a little bit embarrassing. So even like to work out, okay? If you come to my house right now and you go upstairs, in the family room, the main room of the house, to the right, you will see a workout bench and some Bowflex free weights.
Okay.
So every day I'll go there, I'll watch Sports Center. While I'm watching Sports Center, I do a little workout.
Okay. Yeah. So you're like multitasking. Yeah, that's good.
But what's happened is that's my behavior. That's literally my behavior. So I've added on to that. So now in the mornings I say, hey, I need to stretch. And then, I just saw Mission Impossible. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I'm not going to spoil it. But let's see, we can go back to an old Mission Impossible. Tom Cruise would break out into a full sprint. And he will run for I don't know how long. And I always see the man do it. I'm like, how does this man? I wish I would try that.
Right.
Running on a train.
Yeah, they always show him running. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going, right? And I'm like, how can he do that?
Yeah. Right.
This is amazing to me, right? But I'm like, he doesn't seem like the type of guy to be in the gym. So what is he doing? He doesn't want to be in the gym. He's saving the world.
Oh, yeah.
So I figure he's one of those guys. I call this like a hitman Secret Service workout. So I figure, he probably gets up in the morning, does calisthenics, stretches every morning.
You're talking about Tom Cruise or the character he plays?
The character.
Yeah, the character.
Tom Cruise, because Tom Cruise can do it.
Ethan Hunt.
Yeah, he's got the trainer and all the money.
Ethan Hunt.
So, but that character, and you look at like the Jason Bournes, look at
Oh, he's running a lot too.
They don't look like they have time to go to the gym.
Right.
So how are they able to do this, right?
Well, that's an interesting way to look at things.
I implemented this behavior, so I've been doing it now for a while. So I wake up, I stretch, I do all these calisthenics every morning. And now it's to the point where like, I don't even think about it. So that's basically the same thing I did with like my business.
Okay.
I want my business to go here. This is what I need to do. Every day I need to do something that moves that needle, even if I don't know what I'm doing. But there can't be a day at the end of the day when I'm brushing my teeth again, because that's another behavior, looking in the mirror. So what did we do today? And every day I have to have done something, this behavior to move that knee. I don't care if it's just an inch. Some days I moved it a mile. Some days it's just an inch. But whatever I did, I was able to move it a little closer to the end goal. So
right, because after a while it becomes this daily habit, like you're saying, like brushing your teeth.
Right. So I try to simplify things, and that has helped me so much in business. Because I'm not a business guy. I'm not organized. I'm not any of the things that they say you need to be for business. I don't know anything about business. I never studied business. This was just, I made a decision. Like, hey, well, this is what we're doing. We're here now. Let's get it. What needs to happen?
Yeah. So it's not about luck. It's not necessarily about business sense. Yeah, that's interesting.
I've gotten lucky. Don't get me wrong.
That's part of it. That's part of it.
You know?
All that sounds very mature, very thoughtful. My question to you, Moyne, is how does that translate to your artists? And I would typically think that your artists are young. Am I correct on that? And probably in their 20s, 30s at the most. So how
The
do these
oldest one is
behaviors, how do these
How old is the
behaviors,
oldest one?
29.
Okay.
29, okay. So how do these artists, how do you impress upon these behaviors to these artists? How are you able to keep relevant in the music game and to be someone that your artists respect?
Well, I think the first thing, this is going to sound really weird. I'm not trying to be relevant in the music game.
Okay.
That's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be relevant in the music game. My label needs to be relevant in the music game. I'm 54. Nobody makes music. They're not making music for me, right? So I don't have to be relevant in the sense of like, he's relevant.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be relevant. So,
Right.
it's kind of like a coach. A coach kind of sets a tone with his team. So what I do, I try to lead by example. I have conversations and I have for real conversations, but because I lead by example and I'm always like, hey, if I say it, we're going to play it. If I say it, we're going to do it. And I'm going to show you, like, you're going to see this effort coming from me. And so young people, even though we have these age gaps, fortunately for me, I have artists that respect, they respect
their elders.
Well, yeah, they respect you, but they respect realness. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They respect they want success. You see what I'm saying? And it's their success. I tell them all the time, this really has nothing to do with me. I'm not driving this. I'm riding shotgun with you, but this is all you.
But it also sounds like they're kind of following what you just told us, which is you want success too. And so they also can see that. But so you see a little bit of you in them, I guess, because I saw some of the interviews, these young guys, and they're very poised, they're speaking truth. I was like, wow, I think like supremedae, I was like, what's Supreme? He was good. And then also Damon, he's too young for me, but he's so cute, and just, he's got the look, he's got the whole package. So I just think you must, I don't know how much you're coaching them, but I feel like you've selected a good roster of artists, and so it seems like they all have a story to tell, that they've come up, maybe had some hardships when they were growing up. So tell us more about that. Like, how are you finding people? And this most of them in Virginia, because we love Virginia.
All of them are from Virginia. Yeah, everybody's from Virginia.
Oh, that's so interesting. Like,
the funny thing is, when, who are you going to work with? I felt like it goes both ways. So when I was looking for artists to work with, I never particularly look for the most talented. I look for artists who I thought had certain qualities and just certain characteristics that align with similar qualities and characteristics and beliefs I had. It's like, you can think about, like, you see some teams sometimes and on paper, that's the greatest team. But they'll lose to a team that, those guys are more aligned.
Right. Like they might have heart. Yeah.
On the end goal and what the end game is. So first and foremost, I'm never really look for perhaps the most talented artist on paper or with skill. Not saying my artists are ridiculously talented. They have a lot more than just their art. These guys are like, they have discipline. They're young, so you have to manage your expectations, but they have discipline, they have character, they have goals, they have, dare I say, and this is the biggest thing that connects us all, they live by a code. I live by a code. I grew up where I grew up, and I've always stuck to that code. I've made adjustments. They do the exact same thing. We can have conversations. There's a huge age gap, but we all align at the end of the day. We might think the same thing is weird because it just doesn't align with our code. And these guys are, like I say, they live in this generation, which I am not from. I don't get a lot of what's going on. But at the end of the day, we still align on what in life matters the most.
Are you finding them or do they find you? Like, are you going online and trying to discover somebody on YouTube?
Let me tell you what. And Will doesn't know I know this story. At first, I was going to open mics and all that little shit. I was doing all the little shit you're supposed to do, trying to find an artist. And I had artists, and I'm not talking bad about any artist. Like, I think they all have their gift that they give to the culture. But I wasn't having a lot of success, right? And I remember I put a song out, and one of the homeboys heard it, and Will told the homeboy, like, I want to like it. I want to support this, right?
Were you looking in Northern Virginia, or where were you looking?
Yeah, it was from Northern Virginia, right? Okay. You know what I'm talking about. So it was tough, but I met the artist that really he's basically built the label. His name is alum. And so I met his pops at the gym one time. His pops is Chop Corley. He used to be champion. That's who Floyd beat for the championship.
Oh, wow, that's
Chop. So that's his son. Yeah. So I run into him in the gym, and he looks at me kind of like, so what you do, right? Well, I do this. And of course, you get this all the time. Hey, well, my son does.
Right.
Nephew does. I'm like, oh, shit, go again. But I didn't have anybody, right? Right. So anyway, LA came over, and we connected. We kicked it. He was super young, like a lot. He wasn't the most responsible, but again, that code.
He was already writing his own music?
Yeah. Okay. So we'll be in here for hours putting stuff together. And he is who has brought me the majority of the artists.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Have built, Moyne today.
Except like referrals. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. So that's why they all kind of can collab together, right? I see in a lot of songs where they're all singing together, rapping together. It's you can see it that they all know each other pretty well.
And he come to me, he's like, Frank, I got somebody. You need to get this person. You need to hear this. That's how he talk. And sure enough, because they're friends, they kind of all have that similar, outlook on life and what they want and so forth and so on. It hasn't always been smooth sailing. Like, they're young. So sometimes you're like, bro, come on, my God. But in the day, we figure it out,
Yeah.
We've been able to figure it out. We've been really blessed. We're in an awesome position right now.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, you look, everything's very professional.
Very. So, Frank,
go get it.
We've mentioned your children, your wife, over a company. You said you got workout equipment and you work out like Jason Bourne, all this stuff, and I'm trying to figure out how do you balance all that, bro? Like, what motivates you to keep juggling these balls in the air, pause like that, bro? Like, what puts that battery pack in you?
I mean, it's simple, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, for me, everything is pretty simple. I enjoy it, man. Like, I love doing it. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't always want to. Okay, sometimes I don't want to do the things I'm supposed to do. But at the end of it, doing it, I'm like, yo, I really like this.
Yeah.
Let me get to this. You know what I'm saying? And even like with the working out, I can't compete at things like I used to. I got bad knees. I got this. I can't play ball no
bro,
more.
You still one of the most. So you still one of the most in shape 50-year-olds I've ever seen. Salute,
man. But I can't run.
He's got his Bowplex in the living room.
So all these things I enjoy. So when it comes to exercise, I'm like still able to compete. Like, I see some younger cats. I'm like, oh, okay, y'all doing it, but I'm kind of doing it too. I know you see me over here doing it, so I get a little kick out of that. You know what I'm saying? I have
like sons. A little competition.
My sons are always bucking up at me, right? So, that's a little thing. As far as the work and the music, man, I just love music. I just love to see it grow, and it's that simple. I just enjoy doing it, Sometimes do things fall off? Yeah, we're all human. We drop some balls, but it's okay. You give yourself some grace and space. Pick the ball up, put it back in the bucket. Let's keep it moving, So it's all because I just like it.
Because you like it, yeah.
I want to follow up with that. Like, with us being our age, typically it's hard for us to get that energy. I can't even imagine doing what you do. Like, I don't even have half of the stuff that you got going on, bro. And I'm like, how am I going to make it through the day? Like, And I think about
You sound like an old
you
man,
motivate me. Well, I'm sorry, full disclosure. But like, I hit the gym today and I was like, and I've been doing pretty well with that lately. But sometimes your name pops in my head. I know Moyne isn't working out right now. I know I got and that gets me to go to the gym. Like, it's just that energy, bro. Like, are you doing something, or it's just inherent in you? Like, how? I want to know how.
Bro, so it's funny you said that, right? So Max, I don't know if you can see this, but Will and I have a very similar beard, right? Because I basically beard.
It used to be more similar, but yeah.
Okay. I was like, yo, I took a picture of his face, took it to my barber, say, bro, so like, yeah, bro, like I think about, like, it's funny because all the guys that we hang out with, everybody seem to be keeping it together really well. And I don't want to be the dude as far as coming to work. I don't want to be the dude who'll be like,
right.
Look at Frank Moyne.
What happened to Frank? He fell off.
You don't want to go to that reunion and be that guy who's like,
that same thing. I'm like, okay, all right, yeah. So, and like Will, he's been a mark for me. Yeah, it's friendly,
healthy
competition. So that keeps me going. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I'm super tired. I'm too embarrassed to admit it because it still be light outside, y'all. It be light. I'm like 15.
So we appreciate your honesty. I think we all feel that.
It's fun. Like, I be like, damn, I can't.
I know. Our bodies sometimes can't keep up.
When you fall out, sometimes you didn't know you fell out.
I know. I fall asleep all the time when I'm watching stuff with my kid. So I want to talk about, with Diddy in the news, we have this idea of this kind of glamorous life. I mean, his is to the extreme of a producer, but are you seeing that too in your life? Like, are there parties, girls, mixing it up with the celebrities? Is that what your life is like?
Of course, my life's not like that. A lot comes with the industry, Max. Like, what do you want me to say? Damn.
The music industry back in the day, and I think that's definitely true. You're going out at night, and especially like you're recording at night. Probably there's a lot of late nights. You're with people who are artistic and creative. Like, what's that like?
It's cool.
You're getting invited to parties.
It's cool. Like, for me, I recognize, I embrace where I am as a midlifer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So certain things I feel like are not for me. You know what I'm saying? I met this guy one time. He was older than me. He was like in his 60s. And he was super fit. He was super cool to me. And I was just drawn to him. And I'm just talking to him. And I was like, so bro, like, why do you do this? Like, what are you going to do? Like, what's next for you? I'm asking him all these questions. He's like, I basically am just living each day by day. And what I want to do is I want to enjoy each phase of my life.
Oh, that's good.
In my college years, I enjoyed my 20s, my 30s, my 40s. Like, I just want to enjoy each phase, in which each phase there's certain things that change. Some things aren't for me anymore. Some things are, now this is my thing. And so I kind of like, that really struck me. So when it comes to some of the things that come with the industry, for me, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, you get it how you live, but for me, I just feel like, okay, I have a family, I have kids, my guys are looking at me, the artists are looking at me.
Yeah.
I want to be, an example. So I kind of consciously avoid certain things.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's just not for me. What I look like over here right now. We kick off a tour on Saturday. The kickoff is in DC. Hook Hall. Y'all come through, right?
Okay.
And the fellas want me to come. I'm going to come, but I'm not going to close it down.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to go. I'm going to show face. We're going to have a couple rounds. We're going to party. We're going to celebrate. We on the tour. We kicking it off. But then I'm going to go home. Frank Moyne is taking his ass home.
Yeah.
I'm an Uber Black. And I just think that for me, again, you got to get it how you live. But for me and the things that I want that are important to me, I just think it's best if I just, You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, make good choices.
That probably make me boring. That probably make me boring. You know?
Nah.
I bet being a producer in your 50s is different than like in your 30s or something. Yeah, and also in this day and age, this age of social media, you don't know what's going to turn up, right? Like what pictures people are taking, and
we're not playing any of those games. I need this. I'm saying this on your show. I need this to age very well. Okay. Right. So I just, have a good time. Let's get up out there. You know what I'm saying? I think that's, for me, I think that's what's best.
Yeah. And I think it's also good because then that kind of keeps you, I think it can kind of keep you going, right? Like if you're partying all night, you probably can't, wake up the next day and get your work done or do your workout.
I think he sees the value and the importance, and also it's just great to go home. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
we look forward to going home. We're
right.
looking
And
forward to that.
Sleep is so important at this stage in our lives, right?
100%.
Like, then I know, people are paying attention to you.
Right, exactly. People are watching and trying to bring people down, I think. Not intentionally, but if they see something, they will pile on.
And those close to you, like the guys, they, see me in different situations. I know they're watching me. I know if I'm a mentor and a role model, responsibility, So about 11:30, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this Uber Black, bring it on home. All right, guys, it's crazy.
I like that. That's like a good rule. 11:30. Don't stay out past midnight.
The truth be told, I'd be dead ass tired by then anyway.
I know.
Yeah.
I think of the three of us, Will's the only one who's out late like that. Right, Will?
No, well, I mean, yeah, you're probably right. But I'm starting to see the value of just going home, enjoying the creature comforts of home, laying in your own bed and getting a good night's sleep and just attacking the day. Now, I'm not going to be in the gym at 5 a.m. like Frank is, but, I'm going to do my thing. I want to ask you, Frank, what does the future hold for you? What do you? I don't want to put like an X amount of years, but what are you looking forward to do? What are some of the things that you haven't accomplished yet that you want to accomplish? Tell me about future Frank McGee.
Bro, if I had that answer, I didn't know I was going to be this present Frank McGee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I want to do, man, honestly, is I've become real comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I just want to continue to like challenge myself, whatever comes my way, whatever endeavors. I don't have anything set out. Of course, we all want success. I want success for the guys. I want success for the label, all those things. But I'm so open to whatever the opportunities that may come my way. I don't know what it's going to be, so I don't have like 5 years from now, we're going to be doing this. Ultimately, we all want financial freedom. We all want peace, happiness, but I don't know what that's going to look like. And not by no means do I try to like define like, I'm going to be doing this. I find myself, guys, I wasn't born an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And it's lonely being an entrepreneur.
No, it is.
You know what I'm saying? But now I'm kind of like stuck to it. So, I've gotten into some other things, and who knows where that's going to take me. You know what I'm saying?
It's lonely, but I think it's like a sense of freedom too, right? Because you get to call the shots, you get to make decisions. You're the boss.
Man, that shit's stressful though.
I know a lot of people are relying on you.
Damn, like I gotta make a decision. Oh, like I don't know.
A lot of pressure.
Major East Coast decision maker. I love it.
Yeah, so like I don't really have a plan or a blueprint, but my goal is kind of like what that guy told me. I just want to live these phases of my life to the fullest. I'm in a position now, okay, if I want to get into this, if I want to try that, and I encourage midlifers to do that. Like, I think that we sell ourselves short sometimes.
Right, I think we do.
Our own way. We have all these concerns and insecurities and all that, but we built for it. We are equipped for it.
Yeah.
If really just get out of our own way, try it.
Yeah, because I think there's a sense of like,
yeah.
oh, it's too late. I should have done it before. It's I'm old now. I can't start something new. So we wanted to start having this closing question for everybody that we interview. And so you've talked a lot. Maybe you don't have a plan or you don't know what you're going to be doing 5 years from now. But is there one area of your life that you'd like to maraud more, and why?
Yes, there is. I'm kind of like a homebody, I grew up Southside Richmond. I'm easy. But what I really want to do, and I want to take time to do it, is I want to travel more. I want to experience other cultures, other ways of living, other ways of life. I want to push myself out of my own comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Hop on a plane, we out here for a week and a half and just see what it is and really get into it. Not even necessarily like, like a resorty type deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be on CNN watching all this stuff, right? They got all those, discovering this with so-and-so. It's like the coolest shit in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
it is.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I really want to make time for that. Because another thing that we do, at our age is like, oh, I'm too busy. Oh, I got to do this. Oh,
right.
We'll put things off.
Yep.
I want to just do more things. It doesn't even have to be abroad. It could be just locally, like spend more time with my friends, just being a part of just life. That's something that I don't do because I'm always doing business. You know what I'm saying? But that's something I'm going to make myself do. And I want to do it in a real cool ass way. I want to maraud like that. I see Peasy all over the place. I'd be like, damn.
I know. Peasy's like playing golf here and there,
Well,
Vegas.
That's one thing that we preach here, Moyne, is that, what you said about just getting out of your comfort zone, not thinking you're too old to do stuff, getting in your own way, fear, that sort of thing. We've been preaching that from day one. I mean, yes, we are considered, in our middle-aged years, but that don't mean we're old. That don't mean we're decrepit. That don't mean we can't do stuff, bro. And it's like, and I think we are getting out of that. I think our generation is not like the previous generations, where they just shut shit down in their face and blah, blah, blah and all that. I think we are doing more than the previous generation. I think the generations will come will do more than us. But yeah, man, like you said it, just get out your own way, do some stuff. If you're financially able to take these trips and do all this stuff, man, do it, because you're only going to live with regret if you don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. And I think we realize that life is short. I think that's one thing that we realize at our age, right? We see people passing and
it's short.
Yeah, life
it's
is
short, Max. But we still got time. I want to make sure we get that in there. We got time to do stuff if you're able to do it. Everybody keep doing your thing.
Right, so we got to make it
Before we get up out of here, Frank.
Yeah.
Before we get up out of here, you talked about being CEO of Moyne Music. Where can the people find you? They're looking for you. They're looking for your artists. Where can folks find you at?
Well, you obviously went to my website, which I thought that was funny.
Yeah, midlifers still go to the web. My websites. We still use email.
Full disclosure, when prepping for this interview, my natural inclination was to go to the internet and go look for his website, and I went to
and look for his bio.
moynemusic.com, that's correct. And, there was a bio on there and all this stuff. And I started reading more, and I was noticing that it's not really updated. There's some, I don't think it's been updated since COVID. But when talking to Moyne, he's saying, "Hey, that's not how we do things now." What do you mean? He's like, "No, we on Instagram, we on this, we on that. Websites are cool, but that's not what the people are doing right now." So it did make me feel a little old. But hey, that was my natural inclination to do that. Yes, if you want, there is a Moyne Music out there. Go ahead.
And I'm updating it. I'm gonna update it. You're right. It hasn't been updated since COVID. I keep putting it on the back burner, but I'm updating as we speak. You know what I'm saying? I'm updating as we speak. But
do it for me.
Folks just be
do it for the OGs. Yeah, please.
I'm doing it for the midlifers. You know what I'm saying? Yo, for real.
Hey.
My mom said something to me about man. So I'm like, damn, am I using my website?
Shut up.
But Instagram, you can find me, Frank_Moyne, Moyne. You can find Moyne Music. You can look up the artist, therealgsalih, alum_Mazi, supremedae, and Damon spelled D4MON. You know what I mean?
I love it when there's the 4. I was like searching for that, like putting the wrong number in.
Max, you really feeling Damon over there a little bit.
Feeling Damon.
Hey, we have to set up a meet and greet, Moyne. We have to set up a meet and greet. Yeah.
When I come to Virginia.
There you go.
So tell us about your tour. So when's the tour, and how do we find information about that?
It's called the White Do-Rag Tour. Kicks off Saturday, June 14th at Hook Hall. We're going to be doing at least 5 cities, I believe. Brooklyn, Atlanta, Houston, LA. Is that 5 in DC? But we may do Chicago. We'll see what's good. But you got, come on out.
I know, Will. Let's go.
Come on out.
Are these tour dates on IG? Because I don't want to probably on the White Do-Rag Tour, and yeah.
He's out here. Like, let me say this. I'm supposed to have my website up to date like any professional business. This was me giving you the business. This was part of me being ashamed that I keep dropping the ball. So I want you to feel a certain type of way.
Yeah. You did. Success.
Yeah. We have a website, whitedurag.com. You can check it out. Things are really happening. We get actually, getting some other opportunities. I think we're going to be at the Muse Market on the 22nd. I'm going to update the website so that people can see it. But check out the Instagrams. It's all over the Instagram. It's just like, young people often just, like somebody told me, Instagram is your new business card.
Yeah.
That's it.
But especially for music. Yeah.
You're supposed to have your website, Frank Moyne. Get your website together. So you guys are right.
We will try to come out to the tour. We should record from there.
A little live feed. I like that.
Be like the oldest people in the audience.
Hey.
Live feed.
Watch yourself now. Watch yourself. I'm gonna need like some velvet ropes and like a green room or something like that. Just letting you know. That's how talented I was.
Yeah, so I could meet Damon. Well, thank you so much, Frank. We really enjoyed speaking with you. We really are inspired by you. I'm very inspired by you. Yeah, and you're aging well. Yeah,
aging well. Hey man, I'm trying to keep up with you, big dog. But yeah, listen, I can't convey enough how proud I am of you, man, and like how great of a friend you've been to me all these years. How you've inspired me. You have such a beautiful family. And for you Marauders, listen out there, man. Let this be an example of a man that went a non-traditional route and is enjoying a great amount of success doing it. And he's still living his life to the fullest. Yeah, man. All the best to you and your family. Thanks for coming on the show.
Appreciate it, man. I couldn't wait to be part of this. I'm your biggest fan, guys. I'm your biggest fan.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Midlife Marauders. Follow us on social media and wherever you stream your podcast.
We also want to give a big shout out to Frank Moyne at Moyne Music for providing the beats for our theme music. And to our listeners, keep on marauding and see you next time.